This is my second attempt. It is I, Abster, none other. We just got off the phone with Baby Boosha, or Phyllis, my mother, but I had to delete that stream because I accidentally showed something in that stream that I would never in a million years want anybody to know. Never in a million years. I don't know how I would explain that away. I'm just kidding. I've showed my mom's phone number by accident, so I don't want nobody harassing my pitiful mother when she's straight up out of the hospital. Good morning, YouTube. What a beautiful morning. See, we got one viewer. Hello, hello. Thank you for the thumbs up. Hear the birds and the crows. I like this little balcony. I mean, it's a pretty nice little balcony. Some people decorate their balconies. They put, like, you know, different plants and stuff. Some people don't even have balconies, as you can see. Those apartments don't. But I live on the second floor, so I do get a balcony. One thing I've never figured out is how to turn this light on. There's no switch for it inside. Tapped it, looked at it. Have no idea. Hi, welcome to Krista's World. Great to see you, lovely lady. Thank you for stopping by. Come on, guys. I'm sorry I had to end the stream earlier with my mother because I accidentally showed her phone number in it, and it was such a cute call. She talked to the audience and everything, but I really can't have anybody harassing. Not that I have any enemies or think anybody would do that. I really don't. I'm pretty well liked by everybody. I'm not a drama community person, you know. I just do me, and I don't really have any problems with anyone. I get along with pretty much everyone except one person, and that's the same person that we all know is a scumbag. Good morning, good morning. This morning, good morning. Come on in, guys. So I want to Lollipop Guild. Yes, that's true, Krista. I'm a little nervous even being out here. But it's kind of cool because you can see that I'm on the second floor because there's apartments down there. But this leads, you don't have to climb any stairs if you go this way. So when I jumped over this little balcony and I landed on that ceramic dog when Dad was up at the store, and I twisted my ankle. I needed to use a walker for like a day or two, and I had to go all the way around, but like this came in handy because I could not get down the stairs. So it's really nice how they've laid out this community. It's a nice place to live. It's a beautiful complex, you know, really friendly neighbors. Yeah, it's really nice. I've never lived in, now that I've lived in apartments, I never want to live in a house again because, you know, if something goes wrong, call the maintenance man. Oh, your yard needs mowing? What yard mowing? What yard needs mowing? I don't have responsibilities for that, but see, it's really nice down south versus places like Washington, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, California. I'm hearing a lot of rumors around things such as people needing to purchase even for a standard apartment, which is totally unheard of for me. I'm sure not everywhere is like this. I think this is something new they're introducing. Hey, good morning, Dad. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you, my dear?
I'm on this storm.
Okay, babe. Look at my little kitty cat, guys.
Have you got any medicine in that box?
No.
Any aspirin?
Aspirin? No, I don't take aspirin, Dad. because I can't for my kidneys. Get you some while you're up there, babe.
Oh, hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I have a lockbox in my room that I keep all my medications in. He was wondering if I had aspirin, even though I've told him 100 times I don't take NSAIDs. You cannot take NSAIDs with kidney failure. I mean, I technically can, but NSAIDs damage your kidneys, even small amounts of it. We got 6 viewers. I live up north. Okay. Oh my God, what is up, Rich News and Sports? I am definitely not in love with Anderson Henderson. Maybe once upon a blue moon, my brother. But no, I think you got me confused. It's more like he's in love with me. I've always been respectful of his relationships, and he has never. I can't even get him to be respectful of my current one. Like he just will not. I don't know. According to Mr. T, I don't watch Anderson anymore since he blocked. The stupid son of a bitch fucking asked me to come on panel after the millionth time of me telling him no. No, I finally come up on panel, and when I do, he blocks me the same day on StreamYards, and I haven't watched a stream of his since. Now, I watched a video of his, and now I don't even, he's just too wishy-washy. I know him better than any of you ever will. I've known him since I was 15 and a half years of age. I'm 32 years old now. But you're a really funny guy. I mean, you're cool. I like you. You're really entertaining. I've seen you on Dave's. But anyway, I apologize to you guys, now that I got 8 of you in here, for putting a live stream on overnight and falling asleep and not realizing that the live stream was on. It was supposed to be a scheduled live stream for Coffee Talk. That's the name of my show, okay? I don't do the whole, morning show. My stuff is Coffee Talk. It's called Coffee Talk with Abster. So that's what we're doing this morning. And I just want to apologize. Now, granted, it was only a 2-hour and 37-minute live stream by the time I got back from seeing my counselors, my therapist at rehab this morning, which I almost got left behind, which would have sucked because I don't do rehab I do rehab every day but Sunday. But I was so tired. My dad came in and woke me up. All 5 of my alarms I did not hear. I'll leave the stream up because I did read all the comments that came in, and I apologize. I addressed them all as well. And I just apologize to you, my viewers, my audience. I don't really have enemies. I don't have enemies. I'm not a drama person. I never have been. I really, really like to keep a solid, squared away, good reputation with my viewers, with my audience, because I'm not in it for money. I'm not in it for clout. I'm not in it for drama. I'm not in it for views. I'm not in it for likes. I'm not in it for subs. While all those things are greatly appreciated, donations are always appreciated. I haven't had one in a while. My PayPal is PayPal Abby487. All of that goes toward savings for either my Coeur d'Alene trip to meet Nolan or a car so I can have reliable transportation and start the process of getting a kidney transplant, because I do have end-stage kidney failure and I've been on dialysis, and it's a very hard way to live for over 5 years now. So that's greatly, greatly appreciated. I don't buy drugs with any of your money. I don't do drugs anymore. I've never done hardcore drugs or street drugs. I love the Lord. I appreciate my viewers. I love my audience. You guys are very special to me. There have been times where I have been at my highest and my lowest, and I've been on this platform since 2006. Steadily on it since 2008, like never taking a break. And I really just want to tell you guys how much I appreciate each and every one of you, and I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really, really appreciate you guys. Every comment, every thumbs up, every view, everything. I appreciate you guys. I genuinely care about you guys, and if any of you ever need help with something, if I can help you monetary, it doesn't matter money wise, I will try to help you, because I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like to be homeless, sleeping on the streets. I know what it's like to be in shelters. I know what it's like to, well, I don't have the luxury of knowing what it's like to live in a car, but I wish, you know, I know that people fall on hard times, or and even if you're not homeless, and you just don't get paid for another week or two, and you need some money for food, and you don't have a car like me, and you've called around your local churches and food banks, and you've asked your neighbors to drive you, and nobody will take you anywhere, and you're stuck and you're hungry, like, hit me up. I'll help you if I have it. I mean, if anything else, I'll throw you a $5, $10 bill. It's nothing to me. And also, as I said in the past, with any donations, I only accept PayPal. Any donations that you give to me, if you want them paid back, then I always stick to my word, and I pay you back, usually at least, depending on the amount, it's usually double what the person gives me. And I have viewers that I wish would come in here, 16 of you viewing, that can attest to this. Just leave it in the notes. Hey, Abby, this is a loan. This is not a donation. I need you to pay it back as soon as you can. And I keep that. I keep a log of that on PayPal. And I have never, not once, not paid someone back. So, and also, but I'm not in need right now. So if you donate to me, then that would be great. It'll go toward, like I said, my Coeur d'Alene trip to meet Nolan, or saving, because I'm saving for a car so that I can start the process of getting a kidney transplant. I'm not getting any younger with that, guys. So anyway, back to Miss Krista and what I was talking about. So I live in an apartment, and I love living in apartments. I have lived in apartments all my adult life. Up until the age of 18, I was passed around different foster homes, 2 of which were millionaires in different counties all across the state of North Carolina, from the time I was 13 until I aged out at 18. Now, I learned a lot. I observe everything. I'm very, very, very observant. So going back to the properties these days, I love living in an apartment because you don't have to pay to have your lawn landscaped and mowed. You don't have to, if the light bulb goes out or the air filter needs changing, you just call the maintenance men up. They're very good about that at this complex. Everybody's friendly in the South, unlike up north. People tend to be a lot more neighborly. Like when you come down south, not only is it more quiet and beautiful, the cost of living is a lot. I mean, I researched this stuff, and plus, based off my personal experience and people I've known, the cost of living, especially in North Carolina, is significantly lower all across the state than it is in any other part of the U.S. And North Carolina is a very interesting state for many reasons, but we'll get into that later. I want to get my point across that I was talking about earlier. So with an apartment, okay, places up north and places like California. Now, I know that when you get like a duplex or a condominium, especially if with a condominium, people don't rent condominiums, okay? Condominiums are like apartments. They look pretty like this. They're, they look like apartments, but you're buying a condominium. You're paying a mortgage. You're not renting to own. You are, not giving rent money to somebody else, and they could say, if you break your lease, get the hell out of here in 30 days, and then if you don't, they'll start the $2,500 to $3,000 eviction process, which can take up to 90 days. But then you have an eviction on your record, and that you'll never be able to get an apartment anywhere. It's hard to get apartments these days. So if you ever face eviction, just leave. Just get your stuff and leave. Like I did, don't cause the homeowner to, have to cover your month's rent and possibly, raise the other tenant's rent while you freeload and leach and what do they call that, slum tenant? No, there's another term for it. There's 16 of you in here, guys. What's going on? I think the worst thing I did as a kid was steal people's cats and put them in my barn. They would escape, but I always had cats constantly at my pawpaw's barn. I have 50 cats who live here now. Wow, schizoid for you. Smash. Next question. It's a small 2-bedroom and it's not the Taj Mahal, but it's not the worst apartment. But geez, I paid $1,000 and no help right out of pocket. I don't get no rent for help. I leave. I don't even have roommates, nothing. If I give money to somebody, it's a donation. I don't expect it back. But right now, it's a tough for me, just like times are tough for everybody. Geez, well, when you've got a 2-bedroom apartment and it's a small 2-bedroom, it's not. I read it, baby. So let me ask you this, because here's what I want to get back to my original point. I keep veering off. I have read this, and I talk to Nolan every day. I love him very much. And he was beginning to look at different apartments and on various websites, and a few of them I recommended, and he let me know. He called around, he did some research. This is when he was self-employed, but also working a full-time job. And that made me very curious, because I've only ever seen that kind of stuff in places like condominiums. But now, apartments, in order to get an apartment, the standard is this, okay? Depending on where you live, you will pay first and last month's rent plus a deposit. Sometimes they don't make you pay the deposit, they just make you pay the first and last month's rent. Other times they make you pay the deposit and don't let you pay the first and last month's rent. Or if you're real lucky, they might just let you get away with, paying the last month's rent. And they don't make you pay the first month's rent until after you move in. But you do have to pay a deposit as well as a pet deposit. But now they're starting to make you guys pay maintenance fees. Now, I understand a lot of places now are also starting to charge an application fee. An application fee should not be anywhere over $50, $35 to $50 max. And if it's a place that you really, really like, and you don't have any felonies on your record, and you're able to show them that you are employed and you've been employed for at least 6 months to a year, then you will for sure get the apartment, especially if you have good credit. Now, or savings in the bank, you're going to want to put all that kind of stuff, because that looks good as well. But as long as you have verifiable income and you have a decent background, you're good to go. But a lot of places see charging an application fee to rent an apartment or a home, buy a home. They'll charge you an application fee if you're looking to buy a home. It's a newer thing that's become more prevalent within the past 5 years, especially with the apartment side of things. Now, I have never, until Nolan told me and I did some research, I have never heard. I've heard of it, but only for places like I mentioned, like condominiums, where you're not renting, you're under a lease, but you are purchasing a piece of land in a property to own, okay? The maintenance fees. Krista, do you have to pay maintenance fees? Because maintenance fees for a standard apartment is something very, very, very new. And it's definitely, I would think, for higher end apartments, but in places like Spokane Valley, Washington, or Washington State, or Idaho, especially places like Coeur d'Alene, if you can find a place that does not charge maintenance fees, and I know a couple places in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, I'm thinking of applying to myself, that I've lived at before. They're older apartments, but their amenities are amazing. There's like a tennis court, there are hot tubs, there's indoor swimming pools, there's barbecue grills, there's beautiful lounge areas. The apartments themselves are very well maintained. In Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, things are very well maintained, and also in North Carolina. But, you know, all states have its flaws, and I can only speak from my experience and the experience of those I've known and the research I've done. So, these maintenance fees, guys, for the 21 of you viewing, did you have to pay, or have you lived in an apartment or home where, or condominium or duplex situation where you have to pay a maintenance fee, a monthly standard maintenance fee? I have seen condominium maintenance fees. One time, before my husband deceased, we were going to purchase a condominium. It was a decision me and him talked about, except in excess. And when I saw the condominium, it was beautiful. It had something I've always wanted, which is one of those like crawl spaces somebody renovated and turned into like a bed loft, really high up. You know what I mean? And I mean, this place had cathedral ceilings, so it was really, really high up. Now, that was cool. It was in Idaho. The amenities were not even as nice as like the first apartment me and him lived in, called Fernan Village, I think is what it's called. It's right there by Fernan Lake. It's like a 2-minute walk from it. Oh, what are those apartments? They're beautiful, beautiful apartments. They're old, but they keep them renovated. And all that tennis court and hot tub and big lounge area and books and indoor pool and all that stuff I mentioned, they had that at those apartments. And they didn't charge a maintenance fee, a landscaping fee. All that shit should be included in your rent. Now, do you guys up north, for the 14 of you now, do you guys have to pay a monthly maintenance fee or landscaping fee? And if so, do you rent, or are you renting to own? Are you in an HOA? Because with an HOA, you have to pay an HOA fee just to have a home near an HOA association. So they're very strict too. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff. So, but I personally like HOAs. I believe they do. If, depending on who they vote into power, or who, if they're, good-hearted and have good morals, and, it's some people go on power trips, and that's a whole nother story. But do you have to pay a monthly maintenance fee? Because I'm noticing now that a lot of places all across the United States, except the southern region of the eastern southern United States, and North Carolina is considered the Deep South, but it's really the highest of the highest as far as Deep South is concerned. Yes, we're southern, but accents vary county to county. You can have, if you want beaches, we got beautiful beaches here. We got mountains, prettier than anything you'll ever see. And I don't care what anybody says, this camera doesn't do it justice. But one thing I noticed anytime I visited here, and when I moved back, especially in December 2022, I don't know why, but the sky. You've heard songs about Carolina blue skies. The sky, you think, if you go outside today and thank your good Lord in heaven, Jesus Christ, for letting you wake up, because his mercies are new every morning for us. That's you go outside today and be happy and thankful you're alive, and breathe in the fresh air, and know that your Heavenly Father loves you, and look up at the sky and look at how beautifully gorgeous blue, depending on where you're at, and come and visit North Carolina. Anywhere, there's tons of hidden gems here, stuff in this state that I've been looking at. Oh my God. I'm about to tell Nolan he's gonna have to move here if we get more serious, and he will be happy. He's under the impression that most Yankees are, that the South is this stereotypical ugly place with a bunch of hicks, and pigs and mud wrestling and everybody don't like outsiders and everybody's racist and everybody's a politician or everybody's conservative, and it's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. That couldn't be further from the truth. Now, yes, parts of those stereotypes are true in certain places, but it depends on where you go. This state as a whole is nothing like your stereotypical southern, you know, bad stereotypes. It's nothing like that. And I haven't told him this, but I can tell from talking to him, I'm very observant, that he kind of has that view, and he's so new to the world that he got overwhelmed when he saw the process that it takes these days to get an apartment. And you can still be denied, but he doesn't realize if he has a job with verifiable income, savings in the bank, background check clear, which he does, he will 100%, 90 to 100%, be approved for whatever apartment he has. And even if he doesn't have his credit built yet, he needs to get a credit card and start paying it off every month and spending and never ever going near the limit. He could even start with a secured card, but a secured card, is really for losers who can't get, whose parents didn't set them up properly and they can't get a secured, regular credit card with a limit, credit limit. They have to, a secured card is where you put like $300 in the card, and it's basically like a debit card, but they treat it like a credit card, and not all three. I've worked for these places. I know, guys. I used to run credit for a living for 7 years. And the top three, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are the top three and only, what is it called? Places that, if you go to buy a car, or rent a car, or anything like that, or you want to, go to buy a car off a lot, they'll run your credit. Or you go into like a Verizon and you want a $2,000 phone, they'll run your credit. They're going to run your credit through one of those three, if not all three of those major credit unions. They're credit unions. There you go. Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And one of those is like the top dog. I forget which one, but you can have the other two agree, and then that one top dog not agree, and you're fucked. So you can get your credit score for free. It's easy to do. It's free. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Do research, because a lot of places, they offer free credit scores, but they're only checking from like one. You want your credit score checked across all three. Experian. Is it Experian? It might be something else, something like that. Equifax and TransUnion. There's three major credit bureaus. Credit bureaus, not credit unions. I'm very tired. And you really want to make sure that anytime you go in to apply for a phone, anytime you go in to even see if you qualify for a bank loan or a car loan, you need to ask this question. And because these people can do it on the phone too. Are you running my credit? Because they have to tell you if they're running your credit most of the time. No, they don't have to, but no, actually, we don't have to tell you. We have to tell you if we're going to run your credit, but we don't have to tell you this. We don't have to tell you if it's a soft or hard hit. In the call center world, in the credit business, in the banking business, there's something called a soft hit to your credit, and there's something called a hard hit to your credit. A hard hit to your credit means you have your credit ran to purchase something, let's just say a phone, to see if you can finance a $2,000 newest iPhone, and I run your credit. Well, that first time I run your credit, it's going to be a soft hit. I'm going to run it through all three major credit bureaus. And if I tell you, hey, so-and-so, you do not qualify to get this phone at this rate, but you qualify, what I can do for you, because people with like A credit can only have to pay $100 a month for a $2,000 phone. But there's levels to it. There's like A through F, okay? So like A, B, C, D, and E, and F, okay? Well, technically there's A through Z, but A through F is what I encountered the most. And so that means like, okay, the lower your credit is, the lower you're going to be down that scale. But I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you, look, if you had perfect credit, you could get it for $99 like the commercial says, but you don't. So instead, you might have to pay a $400 deposit on the phone and pay $199 a month for that one line. I have seen people pay up to a $900 deposit on iPhones and Android phones, like the HTC 8 back when it came out. My goodness. And those people had less than perfect credit, but not horrible credit. And they paid that deposit, and they paid like $199 for the line until it's paid off with no interest, and plus their whatever phone plan they chose. And that's just kind of how it works. It's called a soft and hard hit. So the first time I run your credit, it's going to be a soft hit, okay? The second, let's say that I tell you, so-and-so, you qualify to get this phone, congratulations, but I cannot give it to you for $99 down, or $99 a month with no down payment based off your credit history. And even though I know what your personal credit history is, because you will ask, I am not allowed by law to tell you. I just can only say the words based off your personal credit history, because I'm not a, credit consultant. And let's say you say, well, fuck you, bitch, and you hang up on me, and you call right back in, and you get my coworker next to me, Bob, and he runs your credit. Well, that's running your credit 2 times, because you didn't tell Bob that you called me. And you're thinking, okay, I'm just going to apply for this phone again and hope for a better outcome. Well, Bob gets on the phone with credit bureaus, and you've already had your credit ran once by me. And the credit people can see it. We can see it. Bob can't see it, but the credit bureaus can. And I put in the notes, if Bob opens up the notes, ran customer's credit, customer hung up, blah, blah, blah. So let's say Bob ignores the notes, and you don't tell him anything about calling me, and you want to apply to get this $2,000 phone because you saw the commercial that it's $99 for qualifying customers, and you're too stupid to realize what the word qualifying means. Then Bob is going to run your credit, and if it's within 24 hours, that now becomes a hard hit on your credit score. Now, the difference between a soft and a hard hit, and this is just where I work. Some places, like with cars and bank loans, they'll run your credit, and the first time they run it, it's considered a hard hit. Good morning. How are you? I'm great, dear. Good to see you. A hard hit actually affects your overall credit score, okay? Your overall credit score is lowered. And eventually, so let's say, it takes a significant hit when you just for running your credit to see if you apply for something. It's called a hard hit. So you always want to ask, hey, are you running my credit? And if so, is it a soft or hard hit? And look at them as they are telling you, because half the time they probably don't know. And you'll be able to see in their facial expressions, the tone of their voice, the inflection, all that kind of stuff, their body language, if whether or not they're knowledgeable in what they're doing. But if you have even the slightest sense that they're not, tell them to get somebody in a nice way, because you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Catch more bees with honey than vinegar. Be nice. Tell them you just, if they don't mind, please get the manager, but be assertive. Somebody that would know 100%. And yeah, there's a little lesson for you. Because I love you. There's 13 of you. No, we do not have. Good morning, Willie Finazzo. Welcome to Krista's World. It says, no, we do not have to pay a maintenance fee any apartment that I've ever rented. That's good. That's good. So hopefully it's not Gig, 18 of you. Good to see you guys. Hello. Gig says, I run an HOA and tow my enemy's cars at will. I don't know if I'm going to marry him, a Gig. I would like to if you know. Him if I continue to love him as much as I do and he treats me as well as he does. And I mean, I know he'll never find better, so maybe. I love him a lot, more than anything. I love my baby Nolan. That's my baby Nolan. Are you going to get more serious with him and end up marrying him? I just answered that, Miss Krista. It is my expectation, but I don't know. It's way too early to be asking and answering those sort of questions. I haven't even been dating him for 2 months. I'm an 835 or so, but have no debt, own everything outright. Being debt-free is important. Oh, what a cute cat. Good morning. What state are you living in? I live in North Carolina. That's schizoid for you guys. Crazy. Well, guys, let's go back in. It's getting really hot out here. Woo, it's heating up fast, Dad.
Huh?
It's heating up fast.
Alright.
What'd you get?
Bologna.
Bologna biscuit and a rock star. Look at my little kitty. Hi, Mika. Hi, Mika. Oh, baby, I scared and ran under the table. Look, yeah. Little one. Little one. Look, guys. Can you see that? Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Little kitty. Little kitty. Little kitty. I got them feet. Look at that little baby. Look at that baby. Hey. Let's go back in my room, guys.
Just means that I didn't marry you.
Well, what did everybody have for breakfast? I've carried a lot of viewers. I appreciate you guys being in here. I hope you forgive me for accidentally leaving the live stream on for overnight while I slept. But like I said, by the time I got back home from rehab, the stream had only been on for 2 hours and 37 minutes. So I'll leave that stream up, but I didn't get hardly any sleep last night. Hi, Mr. T. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Thank you for praying for me yesterday. I know that when I was on the phone with David yesterday, you joined the call, and he didn't mean to do that. He didn't know. He apologized to me, but that really caught me off guard, Mr. T, because I was like talking to him, and then all of a sudden, and that was only like the second or third time I spoke to him. And all of a sudden, like, I hear your voice. Mr. T, I love these. Do you like pecan pie? I can't believe growing up in the South, I never liked pecan pie. But now I have. A Little Debbie is not that great. It's more expensive. But the little $1.49 personal size pecan pies they have up there, Fair Value. Sorry, my Southern is coming out. They're way better, and they're just some generic off-brand. I had one this morning. Threw it up as soon as I got to dialysis. So keep me in your prayers, because Mr. T, I I don't know, buddy. I am throwing up. At first, it started, Mr. T, just, from drinking too much fluid, more than my body could handle, in a large quantity in that short amount of time, and that would make me nauseous. But now, over a period of about 6 months to a year, I throw up every day, no matter whether I am completely empty stomach or not. So I don't think it's dialysis related. It could be. My body could just be not tolerating dialysis like it did before, and it's just not liking it, and I don't pee very much, so it's hot here. Maybe my body's just wearing out. I don't know. But maybe I have, that stomach bug that's going around. There is one going around down here. But I don't think so, because especially when I'm stressed out or I have something like looming in my mind. Mr. T, I want to ask you something. Did you notice last night when you asked Nolan if whether or not, he was okay with the way Anderson treated me, he completely stopped talking and started asking you to give him an instance of when, and versus in the beginning he would defend me to the death. And he doesn't like Anderson Henderson. And then to make things even worse, Mr. T, David said, why do you prefer Abby Snatch over Seasons or Bianca Dupree? And instead of him saying, because she's my girlfriend and I love her, because he treats me very well, he's very good to me, his response was, it's not about that, it's that I don't prefer Bianca or Seasons. I'm not attracted to her, he said. Isn't that such a strange way, almost like he's ashamed to say that he loves me? And I texted him last night. I texted him this morning about it. I have yet to hear from him. So, it's gonna bother me all day long until he actually wakes up, because I know he's a night owl. Until he wakes up and we can address this, I'm not letting that go. That really hurt me. I really want to know what he has to say, and if he doesn't respond, then I just won't be talking to him until he does. It's simple as that. Because I love him with all my heart. I've made it clear on my channel, on Dave's channel, on anybody's channel, who I love, who I'm devoted to, and I don't have any enemies. I don't have people coming in here telling me things like he says that, oh, people think you're grooming me and they don't accept our relationship. Well, I don't know what he's talking about or what he's saying, but everywhere I go, it's the exact opposite. Now, he is, porn bombing people and starting to make enemies for himself. But as for me, I have been on this website since 2006. I have been on this website steadily, without a break, with no intermission since 2008. And this platform and my audience and my viewers are very important to me. I love them dearly. I love all of you. This is not a game to me. YouTube has been there for me and the audience and the members in some of the happiest times and at my literal lowest times. And I care about you guys because you've always been there for me. For me, it's not about money. For me, it's not about likes and subs and subscribers and comments and views and clout. It's not about drama. I love a donation. I love, comments. I love interacting with my audience, but I genuinely do it out of the genuine love out of my heart for people. It's not because I need you to Cash App, PayPal, light me up. That's accepted, but I rarely get a donation. But I love Nolan, and you guys need to calm down. Don't, be good to him, please. If you don't like him, but you like me, do it for me. He's young. I really can see the age difference and the maturity level come out a lot, especially here lately. he doesn't, really know how to communicate fully yet. When there's an issue like what I just mentioned, he kind of shuts down and avoids it, and it's, it really leaves me to sit and hurt. And this has happened a lot as of the past few days, but he tries to communicate in his own way, and I notice it, and I don't even think he notices it. It's just out of how much he cares for me. And he'll try to come back and talk by saying stuff like hi, and totally not, totally disregarding that it's not that I'm upset or why I might be upset. It's just, to him, it's not a big deal, or he's not seeing it the way I'm seeing it, and he doesn't know how to respond because of that, So I give him the benefit of the doubt because I love him. Guys, when I say I love Nolan Frost Mafia 1380, I mean, I am deeply, madly, head over heels in love with this man. This man has me wrapped around his little finger. He is just so everything. He's beautiful. He's smart. I love him. I love him more than anything or anyone on this earth. I mean, oh my God, I love that man. But he hurt me when he said that. Baby Nolan needs a woman like Abby. Thank you. A woman who will show him the ropes. Yes. I really, really, really am a rare person to find because of many reasons. But women these days, especially women his age, they have no morals. They weren't raised right. They look at how society is today. They're not going to put his needs above their own. When you love somebody, you sacrifice for them, which I have done many times. When there is an age difference, even older women, most older women are nowhere near. I have the maturity. Yes, I have an inner child-like babyish voice that comes out, and I say stupid little phrases, and I act and I bounce around and I bop around, and I'm a little kid-like because I'm sweet like that. That's just part of my personality. But I have the maturity level of a 90-year-old. I mean, I am extremely mature when it comes to relationships, and I know how to communicate. And see, I'm still learning, and Nolan is still learning. I'm learning how he communicates. I'm learning what his love language is. I'm learning new things about him every day. When he does something to hurt me, it sticks in the back of my mind, but love does not keep a record of rights and wrongs. If you love somebody, you're not going to hold shit over their head. You're going to talk to them about it. They're going to explain themselves, and they're going to move on. But I'm noticing that Nolan doesn't know how to explain himself when some things arise. He would rather ignore it because he doesn't, and I think that's just a maturity thing. He's not thinking, oh, well, I really hurt Abby, I need to talk to her. And I am sacrificing my mental health for him because I'm sitting here hurting right now as I speak. And this is going to play through my mind until we get it resolved. But I'd rather him address it, us get it resolved and put it behind us. But see, he doesn't know how because he's never had a girlfriend. He definitely never met a woman like me. And let's say he was with a younger girl would have dumped him by now. An older woman, if she can't control him, because cougars are 100% controlling, she is definitely would want to use him for his physical body. But I mean, I can get a dick anytime. It's nothing like that. When you love someone, I'm faithful to Nolan. I don't have sex with anybody else. I don't talk to anybody else. And anytime I do, I tell him. But I tell him that I talk to somebody else, not that I have sex. I don't have sex with anybody else because that would be cheating. I don't do anything that I wouldn't be okay with him doing if You know what I mean? I sacrifice my feelings a lot. Like I'm sacrificing right now. Right now, instead of blowing up his phone and cussing him out and calling him every name in the book, like most women would do, guys, and freaking out on him, I am internally hurting. I am in pain. I'm sad. I'm hurt. I feel like he's ashamed to even admit that he's with me, much less that we're dating. I don't know if it's because of the trolls he sees over at Bianca Dupree's, but I don't know what. I don't see the same trolls. I see one, and that's Carlos. But I don't have a bad reputation in this community or any community. I'm well liked. I don't have any enemies, and except one, and that's Haven. But that's a whole. I mean, somebody needs to create an entirely new word for what I am to Haven, because enemy is an understatement, but friend is an overstatement. I mean, yeah. $13 viewers. Love does exist. I am sitting here sacrificing my feelings because I love Nolan enough, even though I'm hurting and what he said hurt me. I am mature enough to know that if I go screaming at him, the very little time that I've known this young man, I'm learning how he communicates, and I'm learning that when he feels like there's a problem, he's starting to back away instead of confronting it, because I don't know why. So as an older woman, I can't believe I'm calling myself that. I never thought I'd see the day where I would be dating a man younger than me, much less so young. But here's how I show my love for him. Instead of dwelling on it, instead of cussing him out, instead of sitting here crying, I am internally carrying that pain for him. I'm not going to cuss him. If he chooses to ignore it, it'll hurt me. I'll bring it up. I'll have to bring it up because it's becoming too frequent. If I don't, then that signals to him that it's okay to just ignore when someone you love or claim to love is hurting, and he will think that's okay, and the relationship is still in a very early stage to where if I don't nip that shit in the bud, then what's gonna happen when he accidentally knocks me up? You know what I mean? I mean, come on. So, but I have to be delicate and sensitive with him and to his needs and his feelings because I don't know him that well yet. I'm still getting to know him. That's the beauty of loving someone. But see, I don't know any other woman. I've never encountered another woman who has the same thought process. Women are fueled by emotion. When a woman is hurt, when a woman is angry, she could be 16, she could be 80. Most of the time, she'll do one of two things. She'll either do what I'm doing, she'll internalize it and hurt, but in doing so, she is doing what, guys? Anybody want to take a guess? She is becoming bitter. She is building up a grudge. She is holding a grudge in her heart against her partner. So that will ultimately lead to a breakup, and that's not healthy communication in a relationship, okay? And most women, most men, they carry all the bitterness, all the brokenness from their previous relationships into their new relationships. I have told myself from the time I was 13 years old, when I watched my dad beat the fuck out of my mom for the last time, I said to myself, I will never let a man hit me. I will never do anything to not communicate to my partner, and I'll never, The main thing I said to myself at 13, guys, 13, I said this, I swear to God, I'll never, if I have a bad relationship, I'll never, ever, ever, ever move on into a new relationship carrying that emotional baggage with me. I will not date any new men unless I am completely over the ex. And boy, did I not know what I was getting myself into when I made myself that promise at the young age of 13. I mean, no woman on planet Earth, I'm truly convinced of this, not to sound conceited, but they really don't have the ability to see the big picture like I do. They don't consider their partner's feelings. They always put their feelings first, and they're nowhere near my level. I'm light years, leaps and bounds ahead of every single woman on this planet when it comes to maturity in a relationship. And I truly believe that, and my track record precedes me. I've not had many failed relationships. All of my relationships lasted a very long time, and it's going to be no different with Nolan. I love Nolan. I'm willing to, it's a bit of a challenge for me. It's something new for me because of his age difference. But I'm a beautiful young woman. I love him more than life itself. I have nothing but the best interest in his best interest in heart and in head. I would never manipulate him or use him or, I love him. And I mean, I am deeply in love with him. I don't only love him, I am in love with him. And I fell in love with him way too quickly, but I cannot help that. So I am willing to literally cross a fucking ocean for him. And I think he's beginning to realize, if not, he will eventually. He will. Hopefully it won't be too late by the time he does. But he will. He'll understand what he has. He's so smart. I think he's learning just how special of a woman he really has. Because I surely have learned just how special of a man he really is. And me being so in love with him just is scary for me because, it's hard to let someone hold your heart in the palm of their hand, and if they squeeze it a little bit, it hurts. And I'm sitting here hurting right now, and it's worth it though because I love him, Little kitty, little kitty, little kitty. Look at my little cat. He follows Kevin everywhere, guys. Well, I did ask him. I'm just waiting for a response. No, I didn't say accidentally. No, there is no accidents. Yeah, if he hits it raw, and I mean, even when I was healthy, guys, it took me a year to get pregnant. It takes a normal couple a year to get pregnant, okay? I can still conceive and have children. Children are a blessing from God. That was just, a hypothetical thing. So I brought it up to him. I'm not going to, spam him, pester him. He's asleep. Let him sleep. He needs his rest. And if he doesn't bring it up to me, then if I'm still hurting over it, I'll bring it up to him on the phone today. It's not a big deal. It just hurts, because I know that I texted him last night and that he saw the text before he went to sleep and he didn't say anything. So that hurts me. And he knows it hurts me. At least I hope he does. So I can only do so much to communicate without having it reciprocated. You know what I mean, Kevin? I can't solve a problem on my own when the problem is, requires his cooperation as well. So we got 10 thumbs up and 14 viewers, and we're 59 minutes in. But make no mistake, guys, I'm not going to let any little petty argument or little comment that Nolan makes, you know. I love Nolan, and this is what is so hard when you fall in love with somebody. They have that upper hand, and ultimately what Nolan says goes, because I'm a 1 in a million, honey. I'm very traditional in my mind and my ways of thinking and the ways I was raised. I was raised to submit to my man, even though I do have a very dominant streak in me. What ultimately, Nolan is the husband, he is the head of the house, he is the man of the house, he is respected by me as his girlfriend enough to where I acknowledge his dominance and position over me, and I submit to him fully. And ultimately, everything is up to him. But, you know, I want to teach him to have a healthy outlook on relationships. So I want to show him and mold him into what a healthy relationship should look like, even if that means the expense of, you know, my feelings a lot of the time. He's my baby. I just love talking about him. I could talk about him for hours. I don't see any trolls in here. I've had a steady 16 viewers or so throughout this whole hour. And you guys listen to every little thing I say, and I appreciate you for it. I love my viewers. Good morning, best tennis player. Good morning, darling. How are you? So good to see you. Well, clockwork, many ways. He works. He's not even 2 months out of a private Christian Catholic high school that he graduated with a very high GPA. Look at what he's doing. He's already gotten a job. He has his own car. He's looking for his own place. I mean, he might go to school and stay at home a little while longer. I mean, the possibilities for this man are endless. He's got a savings built up. He's constantly out doing something to contribute to his self-employed, you know, his business, his computer business. That's more than most 18-year-olds do by the time they're 25. He's doing more. He's done more at the age of 18, not even 2 months out of high school, than most people do by the time they're fucking 25, 30 years old. Look around you, especially down here on YouTube, especially in the Boyd. Look at people like Anderson. Look at all these men. Do they have loyal women behind them? No. Are they doing anything to better their lives? No. It's nothing but excuse. So, in that regard, Nolan is the man. Nolan is the head. Nolan is mine. I love him, therefore I submit to him. He's very intelligent. He's very mature, I mean, for his age. And his intelligence, though, I've never thought I'd meet anybody more intelligent than Marcus Heidenreich, my ex. But my God, this kid is so intelligent technologically. He'll never hurt for a job because he knows not to go out and flash a camera in the police's face and fuss and argue. He's respectful of authority. He was raised correctly. You know, I mean, he's a really good kid. He's got a bright fucking future. I just want him to know that. I want to keep him focused on that. I don't want him to get caught up with the wrong crowd. I don't want him to meet the wrong woman and think he's in love with her and she spreads her legs and then pops out a few unwanted ball and chains, and then he comes crying back to me because he realizes he made a massive mistake. And, you know, I mean, or he might, you know, find somebody, have kids, and then, but at his current maturity, just dealing with him the little bit I have right now, no, no, no. There's no way another woman would put up with what I've dealt with. But I'm not saying that to be mean. I mean, I've been around the block as far as observing people. I know how men are. I know how women are, especially. And he won't get better than me. So I want to set him up for healthy. I want to encourage him not to do drugs. He doesn't do any drugs. I want it to stay that way. His brain is still developing well into his mid-20s. I don't want him to turn 21 and become an alcoholic. That's a very big worry for me. Pray for him. I love him, and I see myself being in his life forever, for as long as I live, and I have decades even without a kidney. I will be in Nolan's life in some way, shape, or form, because I am deeply in love with him, and that ain't changing. You guys know me, you know that I use the word love. I don't use it lightly, and I sure as hell don't use the word in love. Since 2006, I have only told 4 people that I am in love with him, and Nolan is one of them. You know what, Clockwork? Oh, why do you call Anderson Henderson Haven instead of Steven? Because that's his name. Everybody in real life calls him Haven. Nobody calls him by his first name, best tennis player. His mom calls him Haven. I've known him a lot longer. Baby Nolan will be a great dad. You all just need to stop it. Yes, nobody's in here saying he wouldn't be. I'm not getting any trolls. I mean, but thank you, little Ain't. I love your avatar, by the way. Fuck Coates, right? He can go straight to hell. He is an angry little redheaded stepchild. At least my baby won't be redheaded. You could be a great mother to Nolan. I do see myself as mommy to Nolan. I am Nolan's mommy. So I think about that too, and how I react to him, because, there is that sweet little aspect of I am like a mom to him. I love being a mother figure to him. He never had a mom, so I'm very protective over him. I love him in the way a mom would, and the way a girlfriend should. I always make sure, have you ate today, baby? Did you get enough sleep? I love this man. This man is oh my God, he's my sun, moon, and stars, and more than. I've prayed for him. Oh, and the Lord answered my prayer, and he's confirmed it many times that I'm exactly where he wants me to be as far as who he wants me to be with. I will not get better than Nolan, and Nolan will not get better than me. And I love him, and he's my little baby Nolan. He's my little baby Nolan. If I could, I'd put a little bonnet and booties on him and wrap him up in a little swaddle and rock him back and forth. And there's nothing wrong with him. If he were here right now, I'd lay him on my chest. He could lay on my large breasts, and I'd stroke his hair. Men do that sort of thing to their girlfriends. Men out here in society are being conditioned these days not to cry, not to show, oh, that's gay, don't do that. No. You guys don't even know the kind of things men will do to the woman they love. Every good woman to her man, it don't matter if he's older than her. Men do not mature at the same rate a woman does. Now, that's not speaking for the women of his generation. The kids of his generation are completely, helplessly lost. All of them. All of them. But the last good, generation, the millennials, we do this. Men will come home from a long day of work, and if your girlfriend ain't running up and hugging you and holding you and kissing you and loving on you and putting your ass in the bed and fucking, then what the hell, did he even have a girlfriend, bro? I mean, this is just my past experience. So many times, little Marcus, even when we weren't dating and he broke up with me, but we decided to stay together and not sleep with each other, not sleep with anybody else as long as we were living under the same roof. I can't tell you how many days I'd just be laying there and I'd watch him play video games. I pretty much gave him my PlayStation, bought him every game he wanted, and he would become addicted to them. And, you know, I'm not one of those girls that, like, I know that most women my age and older, especially older, hate video games, and younger girls too. They don't like video games, and they pretend to, but they're only doing it to, like, they're not even playing the game. They're just, like, on, you know, Twitch, streaming with their titties out, you know, just, they're not real gamers. I would watch Marcus play video games just like I watched my father playing video games, and I bonded with my father over video games growing up. I mean, I can't tell you how many times Marcus would not say a word. He was never good at communicating, but he would just come over and lean against me, and I immediately knew after, you know, 8 years, you think I would, that he wanted me to, without saying a word, just lay down on my chest. I have pictures of it on Facebook. Or lay in my lap and rub his hair. He has the most beautiful, soft, dark brown, curly hair. And just rub his hair and just not say a word. And just, a man needs that type of physical intimacy without it being sexual. And his mother didn't live near us, so he wasn't getting it from anywhere else, so he came to me, even if we weren't dating. And I love and I cherish those memories, and I want the same for Nolan. I want him to be able to just, without a word, just come over and sit next to me and lean his, you know, put his arm around me or lean his little head against me and let me hold him, let me embrace him, let me give him the physical touch that he needs, because all men, no matter what age they are, they're babies. They're babies. You're all babies. And women, most women, some women, I, Abster, none other, have a very strong maternal instinct when it comes to my men. And I'm very picky and choosy. And Nolan is younger, which is a first for me, but my God, I love him. Oh, I wish I could hold him right now. Guys, don't get me started on Nolan, because if you could see the smile on my face right now, you would see the love, the pure love I have in my heart for him. It just shines through my eyes and my face and my posture. It's almost embarrassing, you know? Oh my God, that boy has me wrapped around his little finger. Everyone needs a woman like you, Abby. Whoever you end up with will be blessed by God. Amen to that, best tennis player. See, best tennis player understands it. I really am not a conceited person, guys, but when I say there's no one like me, I mean it. Haven is going to end up a lonely old man, just him and his honey buns. And his, you know what, poor old Haven was over on Dave's the other day, yesterday, and he was holding that little teddy bear of his that he's had since he was a baby, after all the time he's moved and been in jail and in and out of rehabs and in and out of psych wards. He's kept that little teddy bear. That poor old thing lays on a mattress on the floor. He's never had, I think he's had a little IKEA bed one time, but he's always laid on a mattress in the floor for as long as I've known him, in the corner, and he's never had, maybe once, but if it didn't last, I mean, Liz should have never left him. She should have loved him enough to stick by him. When you love somebody, you don't just leave them. But that poor man, he's crazy over me. That's why he's mad over Nolan. He loves me. Don't let him tell you otherwise. I know Haven, and even Mr. T sees it. And I've told you guys, I love Anderson Henderson. I'm no longer in love with Anderson Henderson, but I'll always love Anderson Henderson. You don't stick around somebody as long as I have him and not. and put up with all that. But let me tell you, that man taught me everything I need to know about what not to accept in a relationship. But, you know, he deserves, just like any man. Anderson's a baby too, baby Anderson. Baby Anderson needs to be held like a baby, but not by me. I have eyes only for Nolan. Only for my baby Nolan, baby Nolan, baby Nolan, baby Nolan, baby Nolan. That's baby Nolan. Oh, I'm gonna hold my baby Nolan. Oh, I wish baby Nolan would wake up and come play with me. Oh, I miss my baby Nolan. Marcus Songbird, hi! Mwah. Good morning, welcome to Coffee Talk with Abster, none other. How did your doctor's appointment go, my love? Marcus is still up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and he messaged me saying, like every ex, out of the few exes I've had, every ex I've had, they always crawl back, but it's always day late and $1 short because I'm always moved on. If it was 2 months ago, Marcus and I would be together in Coeur d'Alene right now. But I love Nolan, and I make sure that I'm totally over my ex before I even open my heart up to dating someone else. I just didn't expect to fall for Nolan. Nolan came out of fucking thin air. God pre-packaged Nolan, put him in a box with some bonnet, a blue bonnet, and some pink booties, and some little mitts, and his little hair sticking out underneath him, and swaddled him up and said, fragile for Abster, none other, do not open until such and such date, May 2024, and I got that package through Anderson Henderson, personal delivery from Anderson to Henderson. Thank you, Anderson Henderson. Nolan is the best thing that's ever happened to me through all the pain that Haven has caused me. And God, I love Nolan. A little angry little red-headed stepchild says, I see it too. Haven is green with jealousy toward baby Nolan. Yes, and it's sad because I have supported him all throughout. And the two major relationships I got in with Paul and with Marcus, I begged him to support. He would not. Oh, we're gonna meet. We're gonna meet. I'll tell you this, guys. Here's what I can tell you with certainty. My ID expires on my birthday next year. I do not have bills in my name. I do not have a way to get an ID made down here in North Carolina. Can I please get one PayPal donation, guys? I need to start putting more money away toward that trip and for my car for my kidney transplant, because now that I have Nolan, I, have someone to live for now, so I may consider getting one in the future. Or if I get pregnant, I will want to, because baby Nolan, I'm not going to be able to keep my hands off him. I mean, I'm a beautiful young woman, and I get hollered at every day, everywhere I go, whether or not I have makeup on, it don't matter. I am pursued heavily, and it's so pitiful. And it's the same, especially up north with my accent. Oh my God, where are you from, But once I commit to a man, I only have eyes for him. I may befriend another man, but usually that's out of pity and feeling sorry for them. I really don't have time, with as busy as I am and as much attention as I give Nolan, because he requires a lot, as he should. And I'm teaching him what to expect out of his future relationships with women. If I don't live up to what I'm saying, then I'm no good. And plus, it's a pleasure for me. I enjoy it. But you have to make a healthy balance, okay? I don't smother Nolan 24/7, okay? I give him his space, but I also make sure to let him know throughout the day how much I love him, how much I'm thinking of him. I think of him all throughout the day, but it's healthy. It's not obsessive like it was with Melton John. I wasn't in love with Melton John. I was just stalking him. And Anderson, when Melton John was in love with me, Anderson, I asked Anderson personally to fix that, and he said, no problem, baby. And the next day, Melton John never saw me the same. Melton John, nowhere near as intelligent as Nolan is. And so he fell for Anderson's antics. But Anderson knows that I will take it outside of YouTube because I've done so in the past. I met my husband on here. So he knows it's serious. He knows I love Nolan, so he'll do anything to run Nolan into the ground. Will y'all be moving in with baby Nolan's parents? No, Nolan doesn't live with his parents. No, you guys need to understand that you're asking me questions that Nolan and I have discussed in depth on the phone. And yes, if Nolan had a place, then I would be welcome to come live there. We have discussed this. But you guys need to understand that Nolan is 18 years of age. Nolan has a bright future ahead of him. Nolan needs to spend at least a year working. I don't care if it's a cashier or a bag boy. He needs to have a steady, reliable source of income on top of doing his self-employment, and he needs to be spending the remaining amount of time researching whether or not he wants to go to community college and what type of major and field he wants to be in as far as the IT world goes. When you see him, give him suggestions. Talk to him about that kind of stuff. And have a healthy balance of giving me the love and attention and meeting my needs that I need and deserve. He really doesn't have and should not spend as much time down here in the boy getting mixed up in all this, because then he says stuff like he did last night, and I have to sit here and internalize the pain until I can talk to him about it. You know, but I'm not letting it make me bitter toward him. He doesn't know how to communicate fully yet, and I'm still learning his style of communication, so we'll get there. You guys need to understand it has been less than 2 months. Nolan and I have not even known each other 2 months. We've been dating less than a month. So you're talking about moving in. I mean, I don't know what kind of hookup culture y'all live in today's society, but I am a prized jewel with my heart. I've been hurt too much, and the pain and heartbreak of heartache is something I don't like to experience. I rushed into the relationship with Nolan. He asked me to be his girlfriend. I said yes. And I fell in love with him way too quickly. I cannot help that. I should have been more reserved with my heart. I wasn't. He fell out of the sky. And he could call me up today and say, you know what, Abby, I am embarrassed. That's why I didn't claim you last night, and people think you're grooming me, and it's getting to me, and I don't think we should see each other, and oh my God, I would be devastated. But I know for a fact that if he did that, he would come back, because he would miss me, because he loves me, and he would realize when I'm gone what he let go of. I've already seen signs of him doing that. If I don't message or text certain things, certain ways, certain amounts of time, then he comes, he gets worried. He comes back, and he don't even realize he's doing it. He's not manipulative. And I just love him. God, did I say I love Nolan? Have I told you guys that yet? Oh, just in case. I love Nolan. Baby Nolan! I'm so happy with baby Nolan. Well, the good thing about me is that I'm hard to knock up. I mean, I'm hard to knock up. I haven't had tons of sex, but I've never had protected sex. I've always been tested. Took me a year to get knocked up. It's I don't know. Nolan's awful young, though. You know, all it takes is one time, one sperm. But Nolan is the man whose child I would be happy to have. If it's as smart as him and pretty as me and loves the Lord Jesus, that's all I could ask for.
Bill's called.
I called her earlier, Dad. Did she call you again?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm doing a live stream right now. My mom called again, guys. You're right, Clockwork. No 18-year-old should be in this community because they're a horrible, horrible influence. But Nolan is intelligent enough to look at these people as examples, and we discuss this privately, of course, but we discuss this. To look at these people as futures, what, in his words, losers they are. He doesn't take any of this nearly as seriously as I do. He's on here to troll around and have a good time. See, I have been on YouTube for so long that I have relied on it during the worst times of my life and during the best time. And for those of you listening, you've always been here. And Songbird, are you going to tell me about your doctor's appointment or not, lady? I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat your bottom. Oh, there's no better feeling than a nice, thick, long cock deep in you and all the nerve endings in your vagina. Oh, my God. Just every little inch I can feel all around. Oh, my God, I miss that. It's like a puzzle piece that fits so perfectly, and you never realize, no dildo, nothing compares to that feeling. You never ever realize that it's just, there's no better feeling. Even though I've never had an orgasm with a guy, there's no better feeling than being penetrated down there and just, oh my God. I mean, it's like a missing puzzle piece you never realized was missing until it's in you and you never want it to go off. Oh my goodness. I cannot begin to describe the sheer, utter pleasure. I don't know about other women, but I personally feel just nothing but utter, breathtaking, make you want to scream, make your eyes roll back in your head pleasure from the moment the tip of his cock slides in between me and goes deeper and deeper. I mean, just that feeling alone with every nerve ending in me standing to attention, and I'm just getting wetter and wetter, making it easier for him to glide in and out. As tight as I am, as unused as I am. Oh my God, I really, really, really cannot wait to meet him. I'd do anything. I'd pay money to have a cock in me right now. And oh my God, I miss it so much. And it would be so easy. I know 5 men right now, if I wanted to. I could call them over, say, hey, Dad, I'm busy, and lock the door. He knows what that means. They leave me alone. And I could be fucked so good right now. But I'm not a whore. I am loyal and devoted to Nolan. I love Nolan. I would never, ever, not for $1 million, not for $1 billion, I swear to God, I would never do anything on purpose to jeopardize my future, my relationship with Baby Nolan. And Baby Nolan means the sun, moon, and stars and beyond that to me. I love him more than life itself. He's everything to me. I love listening to him talk about his interests and his computer stuff, and I love when he researches things, and his future is so bright. Oh my goodness. As long as he has me in his life, I'll never let him go down the wrong path without severely leading him back to the right one out of his own best interest, without controlling him and nagging him. As long as he's willing to respect me as his future wife and take my opinions to heart and realize that I'm very intelligent, especially emotionally, and book smart, and and he does realize that. He just needs to mature a little more. I'll always be in his life as long as he'll let me, unless he's, I don't know. I don't want to think about him cheating and stuff, but I may even take him back. I want him to know this. Always be honest. Do not lie to me. Time to get those V plates. Yeah, he is a virgin. Believe me, that's not the greatest. I've never been with a virgin. That's a lot of expectation on me that I don't think I can fulfill. All I can do, though, when I see him is be myself. And I think that out of the sheer passion in my heart, redheaded stepchild, the passion in my heart, by the time I get to meet him, by this time next year, Nolan and I will have been he will be inside of me. And it's an honor. And he couldn't have picked a better one to lose his virginity to. But believe me, that's not why I want to have sex with him. I honestly could care less about him being a virgin. But there is something very special about him losing his virginity to the right person, because people don't take their virginity seriously these days. The Lord God Almighty reserved that for marriage, and although nobody on planet Earth does that, your virginity is very special, especially if you're a man in today's society. Do not lose your virginity to just any old woman. You're not a stud, and your future wife, when you finally settle down, you're going to regret that body count if you have a Highland. Don't ever pay for sex. Don't ever lower yourself to those things. Believe me, guys, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Just pray and be patient. It's hard, believe me, I know. It is hard. I want to be with Nolan so bad I can't stand it. But at the same time, I cannot rush and teach Nolan that it's okay to rush into stuff like that, because it's not. It is not. It is not okay to just raw dog anybody, even if they are your girlfriend. You need to use a condom. Women carry diseases that they don't even know they have, that men clear on their own, and they stay in the woman, and the woman shows no symptoms for years. Women sleep around. Women are sneaky. They're way worse than men, in my opinion. From my personal experience of dealing with chicks all over the globe, yeah, they're sneaky. He should not even raw dog me. I'll let him, of course, but he should wear a condom. He really doesn't he needs to learn that the standard, he's very special. And his virginity is very, very special. And if it's not special to him, it's damn special to me, because I know the value in it. Just like all of you who have a fucking single brain. Those of us listening in the chat, the 16 of you listening to me right now, if you have more than one singular brain cell, then you know that the fucking fact of the matter is your virginity is important. Satan in today's society and media and hookup culture would lead you to believe otherwise. But go ahead and lose it to somebody you don't give a fuck about and see how you feel. Every one of you, I bet, wishes you would have waited. I've put so much love and energy and time into Nolan. I'm a busy woman. I lead a boring life, but I lead a happy life for the most part. And by this time next year, I mean, I'm kind of putting off seeing him because I know that I'm so sexual. Like, when the last time I had sex, I hadn't had sex in 7 years. And I was so passionate. The guy was 5'2". 5'2". Had no confidence at all, which I fucking love. God damn, that turns me on when a man has no confidence. I love a man that has no confidence. Oh my God, there's something so sexy. There's nothing worse than a cocky man. I hate conceited men. I can't stand that shit. So, I mean, I fucking rocked this kid's world. I mean, when I say rocked, I mean, he was begging me to come over multiple times a day, every day. I mean, I did not care how I looked. I did not care. I mean, I stuck my tongue down that throat of his. He smelled amazing. He looked like $1 million. Oh my God. That same passion is going to be amplified with Nolan. Except Nolan ain't 5'2". And, oh my God. I'm going to kiss those lips. I'm going to wrap my arms around him. I'm going to put my legs around him. I'm going to grab his ass and pull him deep into me and thrust him harder. The only thing that concerns me about Nolan is he doesn't really understand, and there's no way he can, that he has a massive cock. I never thought I'd know a man that had a bigger dick than Anderson. Anderson's got a big old dick. Nolan has a massive, just as long as it is girthy. And I'm little, and I'm unused, okay? And he has a big old dick. I mean, dear God. I never thought I'd see a man so young, or a man at all, with a dick that big in real life. He's hung like a horse. After I fuck him, I'm going to be stretched all to hell. You know that's a myth, right, guy? It's not a myth. If a woman fucks a lot of men, then yeah, her pussy's not going to be as tight as a woman who's as unused as I am. I can name my body count on one hand, guys. Okay, but I mean, you ever seen women who's like in porn videos where their slits start? Some of these women slit. The inner labia starts up at their clit and goes all the way down to almost to their asshole. There is no like taint. I mean, almost every porn star I see has these long slits, and these long slits mean what? A wide opening. But if you look at my opening in my vagina, it's a very, very small little slit. It's not made to be, the vagina's a muscle. It can expand and contract. But it's little, and this kid's head alone is fucking bigger round as his whole dick. I mean, he's big. He's real big. And that's scary to me because I'm delicate. I don't know how he's going to be in bed. I don't know if he's going to be gentle or if he's going to be one of those jackrabbits. He's probably going to be a jackrabbit and come in like 30 seconds. Which sucks because I wanted him to be the first man to get me off. But I don't think he knows how he's going to be, because once he feels the tightness, the wetness, especially him waiting on me, You know, when he sees me in real life and he feels my arms around him, the warmth of my body, the smell of my body, my breath, the softness of my hair, just, and then on top of it, to have his cock enter into me raw, like, he'll feel every inch of me, like, he'll hear me moan, he'll see me. I mean, I don't think he knows, because how could he? How he's going to react. Sex is very intimate, man. I'm a passionate lover. I love to kiss. Yeah, I'll teach him. Whew, by the time I get a hold of him, he'll never forget me. There's 15 of you in here, and nobody's talking, so y'all are listening, because it's been a steady 15, 16 people with 13 thumbs up, and we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. But, I mean, guys, let's go. Let's talk. Did I fucking hide the chat? Can you guys hear me? Please type something. Damn, I fucked up my chat. Hello? Shit. Well, I need to get breakfast anyway. What time is it? 9:27? Yeah, they're gonna stop serving breakfast, and I haven't had a coffee or nothing. This is Coffee Talk with Abster. I'm gonna rename the stream to Coffee Talk with Abster. All we've talked about is Nolan. I'm willing to talk about other things. I'm sorry, you get me started on somebody I love as much as him, and I go crazy. Especially as, like, it's hard to hold out, to wait for him to have sex, you know? I haven't had sex in years. Damn, I wish his fucking dad wouldn't have walked into the fucking room last night. None of this shit would have happened. I wouldn't be upset with him right now. He could have got me off. I wouldn't be sexually frustrated, which is adding to my frustration with what I heard him say on Dave's last night. Does anybody have anything else to say before I go? Because I'm going to rename the stream Coffee Talk with Abster Nolan Edition, because that's all that you guys have talked about for the past hour at least. I should have started. Well, no, I'm not going to say that, but I was going to. Where is my vape? Hello? Can you guys please type something, because I clicked none and it says chat hidden, and then I click live message and all my messages are gone. They're gone. All the chat is gone. There's 12 of you in here now. Give the stream a thumbs up, guys, if you don't mind. If you can, I would love a donation. Even $1 helps. It goes toward my savings to meet Nolan, or if you specify, it'll go toward saving for my car to get my kidney transplant. Living on dialysis is really painful, really hard. I'm throwing up a lot every day. And paypal.me/Abby487. It's always greatly appreciated, but not required. I love you guys. I appreciate you being here for me. Please give the stream a thumbs up. Please sub. If you can hear me, I hope you can. Let me know in the chat, because, like I say, I accidentally clicked to hide the chat, and then I unhit it, and I think you guys can still type, but if you're saying anything, I can't see it. So But we've had a good run. This has been a long stream. I probably won't be streaming for a while after this. You'll probably catch me on people like Dave 25's panel, maybe. If he doesn't have a lot of people, like, you know, screaming and yelling over top of each other. You guys know me. I'm not a drama whore. But Dave 25, Molasses Murphy, Nolan, Frost Mafia 1380. Those are really the only people I watch, so if you see me, say hi. I love you guys. I genuinely care. If any of you guys need my help, then please don't hesitate to ask. I will help you. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, I'm getting ready to end it, so if anybody has anything they'd like to talk to me about before I do, we talked about a variety of things in this stream. The first hour or so was me talking about some life-giving advice for you guys, and, you know, Songbird, I still really want to know if you want to message me. My email address is Abby, A-B-B-Y, Broooke, B-R-O-O-K-E, Watkins, W-A-T-K-I-N-S, Chip Toff, C-H-I-P as in Paul, T as in Tom, O as in Oscar, F as in Frank, F as in Frank, Abby Broooke Watkins Chiptoff at gmail.com. I really do care about you guys. I mean that when I say that. I care about my audience. I'm not in this for clout. I'm not in this for money. I'm not in this for likes, views, and subs. I'm here for you. I love you guys. You've been there for me through the best times of my life, when I had $130,000 in the bank and I was living high off the hog. You've been there for me when I was laying down on the concrete in a sleeping bag with no padding or nothing, getting ready to get up and do dialysis the next morning. You guys have been there through. You've seen it all. And those streams are still up. I've been able to just be my raw self. Some of it I'm not proud of because it wasn't always genuine. I did say and do things, and when I was in I'm a troll. I am a troll at heart. And I always have been. And I say and do things to get a rise out of people, just like the next person. But as the years have progressed, I've come to love and adore my viewers, my audience. I'm not going to say fans because I'm not conceited. I may talk a big game, but I'm very humble at heart. I'm very humble. I care for you guys. I love you. If any of you need to reach out to me, you can email me. Don't give me some time to get back to you. I don't make it a habit of checking my email very often at all. But leave a comment, leave a like, show your girl some love. Abster loves you guys. Abster over and out. This has been Coffee Talk with Abster, none other. Alright, bye guys. Have a great rest of your, what is today, Saturday? Saturday. Have a great Saturday. I'm going to go get breakfast and call my mom because my dad came in here and told me she called. And I got some chores to do. I need to get some sleep in. I only had about 2 hours last night. So I'm not going to, for the next couple hours, I'll be on and off here watching videos and responding. So I'll make time for you guys. I love you guys. Bye-bye.